It is match day live. Welcome to the hotspot. Manchester United taking on Bournemouth live. The lineups are out. A couple of changes made. A few surprises for me, but nonetheless, we do expect an easy victory for Manchester United. Welcome to the hotspot. How are you doing? Are you excited about the game? Well, we've been in a good mood lately, considering the past performance, at least against Chelsea, as we do dispose them off by 2-1. We obviously should be happy and excited, meaning we should be expecting of what's about to happen against Bournemouth. Well, the lineups being out obviously spells one thing. We've got now to get deep and close and look into what exactly we are supposed to do to win this game. It's certainly going to be a hard one. It's certainly going to be a high pressure game because Manchester United knows after the way we disposed of Chelsea, the expectation will be high from everyone concerned with Manchester United. So we expect this squad that scores includes Andre Onana, who is starting in between the sticks. Sergio Reguilon gets a rare start, this time on the left back. Luke Shaw together with Harry Maguire in the middle of the defense, that's in the central defense. Then on the right, Diogo Dalot still maintaining his place ahead of Wan-Bissaka. Then again, in the middle, we've got Sofian Amrabat starting as the single pivot. Again, he's trusted by Eric Ten Hag. Ten Hag chooses not to start Kobbie Mainoo, the youngster, again relegated to the bench. But ahead of Sofian Amrabat, we've got Bruno Fernandes, the captain as always, and Scott McTominay. And then up top is Anthony Martial, who is coming in for Rasmus HOJLUND, who is yet to score a single goal in the Premier League, whereas Anthony Garnacho will be flying in from one of the flanks, as we do get to see clearly what this team is able to offer. So you expect, I think, an exciting game. Of course, people are still not sure about whether Marcus Rashford would be fit enough, but yes, he is fit enough to make the bench. So he will be warming that bench together with HOJLUND, together with Kobbie Mainoo. A couple of would-be star players are on the bench. Perhaps that speaks to the depth we've got in this squad. So the expectation, like I said, should be a victory. But you can tell me about your take on the squad, having seen it. To be honest, for me, I did not really, I was not really too excited by the squad. You know my fascination with Kobbie Mainoo and how I want him to start. Of course, most of the other players, I think, are players I would have predicted. In my earlier video, I did, I think, predict this backline. Reguilon, if he starts, Luke Shaw starting on the left of the central defense, Harry Maguire, Diogo Dalot on the right, no surprises there. Sofian Amrabat starting as the singular pivot again. Eric Ten Hag loves his play teams attacking. Bruno Fernandes together with Scott McTominay as the two that are supporting behind Anthony Martial. Anthony starting again on the right. Garnacho, the star boy, is inverted. So a decent squad it is, taking on a Bournemouth that is struggling in the bottom half of the table. So there shouldn't be a lot for us to be worried about, to be honest. But I think the question would be, what would be the application like? How are we going to apply ourselves against this team? Now let's look at the Bournemouth team and how it looks. Well, it looks like we are assembled in a 4-2-3-1, but when the game starts, usually McTominay disappears from the two holding midfielders and is more inclined to the attack. So that's what you expect to see. But on paper, it looks like a 4-2-3-1. But let's wait and see the application and how it will look then. But I love to see that our wingers are busy lately. Diogo Dalot and Sergio Reguilon always know how to fly in from the flanks. So obviously expect some crosses. So I expect Anthony Martial this time not to be lazy, work hard a bit and get to the end of balls. But of course, the visiting team, Neto is starting in goals. Senesi and Zabanyi, then Smith on the right, Kakez, Christie, Cook, Kluivert, Tavernier, Semenyo, and Solanke. Well, I mean, we should be able to beat this team. Look at our bench. And An interesting bench we've got here, a bit of depth. Altel Baindil in goalkeeper, Johnny Evans, Rasmus Hoyland, Kobe Maino, Facundo Pellistri, Marcus Rashford, Donny van de Beek, who is bound to leave in Jan, Rafael Varane, who could follow him as well, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. A bit of depth in that squad. Of course, our injury list includes so many players from Casemiro, Diogo, Amad Diallo, who was said to be back in training. Of course, he's not still fit enough to be starting and making the squad. Christian Eriksen, Victor Lindelof joined the sick team. We've got Tyrell Maletia, Lisandro Martinez, and Mason Mount, and of course the suspended Jadon Sancho. Well, we may not be competing so well lately, but surely we've got a decent squad, if you ask me. We've certainly got a decent squad as Manchester United. Let me know what your expectation of this game is and what exactly you expect to see. For me, like I said, it should be a comfortable victory for Manchester United. We are talking a Bournemouth team that we have got a beautiful record against. Eric Ten Hag has never failed to beat, has never been beaten by Bournemouth. That is one. If you look at our head-to-head, the past meetings between the two, I think you'd think we are not so badly off against them. So we expect to see, I think, a Man United that is more comfortable, apply ourselves a lot better. I expect to see, I think, something good in this game. Let me know what your expectation is. So that's what Manchester United is looking like. But the motivation we bring into this game is that of a team that has won nearly everything, not in terms of the title because it's not given out yet, but in terms of individual accolades all throughout the month of the Premier League. In November, it was Alejandro Garnacho who got the best goal, deservedly so. The manager, Eric Ten Hag, manager of the month, and our own former captain, Harry Maguire, who has risen above his misery to become another important player as he became the player of the month. Well, according to Eric Ten Hag, Rasmus Højlund has played so many games and he deserves a bit of rest. That's what Ten Hag says. I don't think a striker will feel like they deserve rest if they have not yet scored goals. I think for Højlund, he would rather be there fighting and competing, trying to find his first goal in the Premier League. That's what I think. That's what I expect. I don't really think Højlund will be feeling, I've not... I have played so much football. I don't think so, unless he's not ambitious, unless he's not motivated, unless he doesn't know what he wants. But if he does, Højlund has got to be wanting to be on the pitch. So for me, I don't get it when Eric Ten Hag says that he has played too many games, that's why he's resting him. But anyhow, he is the manager and he knows exactly what he's doing. In Ten Hag, we trust, like we say. So let me even not try to act, all smart and all about, the whole Højlund situation. I mean, he knows what he's doing. I just hope it does pay off. That's, for me, is what I want to see. Does it pay off? Whatever he's saying, whatever he's doing, whatever he's trying to execute, does it make sense? For me, that's the question. If it does, if we are winning games, if we are putting on good performances, if we are giving teams a run for their money, for me, I wouldn't really care that much. I think we just need results. That's exactly what we need. But speaking of results, well, they may not be obvious for us as it is now. They may not be very obvious for us, but you probably feel we are beginning to get them. We are beginning to become confident. The win against Chelsea is something we need to capitalize on. And so many people are advocating actually for Eric Ten Hag to maintain largely the squad that started against Chelsea. And I'm thinking, well, for me, Kobe Maino, whereas I think Kobe Maino should have come in, I still won't sit here and say we've assembled a weak squad. I want to show you a bit of how our squad... Just a second. How our squad, what the stats are suggesting when it comes to Manchester United and this game. What exactly are the stats saying? The statsman seems to favor United. The bookmakers too do favor United for this one. So, we certainly have got to to live up to the expectations. We have to play to expectations. Having disposed of Chelsea the way we did, it is obvious for me that we've got then to apply ourselves even better. But these small teams have been in the habit of giving us bad headaches, to be honest. These small teams have been giving us bad headaches, and you get worried a bit, because then you want to, if you're beating teams like Chelsea, my expectation is that teams like the teams like Sheffield, teams like Bournemouth should be taken to footballing school. That's my expectation. But clearly, they have certainly been a bit stubborn. They have disturbed us a bit, clearly. We've struggled against would-be weak opponents, which I don't think is good. So I don't want us to struggle against Bournemouth. That's the reality. I don't want us to struggle against a Bournemouth team that is lying 15th on the pile when we are from an exciting, performance against the London boys. So that's why I expect to see a one-sided game in favor of Manchester United. But the stats might suggest otherwise. But reality, if the games we've played are anything to go by, I definitely think we should be disposing of Bournemouth easily. That's my honest opinion. But yeah, it's just about 13 minutes to kick off. Manchester United at Old Trafford. We've had a couple of bad moments at Old Trafford this season, to be honest. A few bad moments we might want to forget. But I'll remind you that Newcastle and Manchester City beat us there. It was not a good time to be a United supporter at that time, obviously. It was never a good time to support Man U at that time. But if you look at the bookmakers, they seem to favor Manchester United. Look at this. In terms of the odds, Manchester United winning has got a 63% win probability against 11% for Bournemouth. In terms of the stakes, if you're going to place some money on it, 1.6 for a win of Manchester United and 5 for Bournemouth. I think you would be crazy to bet against Manchester United. I expect, first of all, Anthony Martial to be more energized, more active, more involved, to want it more, to be hungrier. This is one of the biggest issues I've had with Martial. For me, one of the biggest issues I've had with him is not being hungry. And I feel this has been a big problem for him. He has not been hungry. He has been playing like he doesn't want to play. He has been playing with no desire. He has been playing with absolutely no zeal at all. And I feel like that has been a big problem for him. And that's why him being given this sort of lease of life is an opportunity he should take with open arms, to be honest. Because clearly he has struggled to establish himself. Remember, for me, I think Amrabat and Anthony Martial are two players who are on a final audition of sorts now. Sofiane Amrabat and Anthony Martial are on an audition. Every opportunity they get is an opportunity for them to prove themselves. For me, that's it. That's how I view it. That every game, every opportunity they get is one to prove themselves. Now, meanwhile, our opponents, Liverpool, did come from behind to magically beat Crystal Palace by 2-1. Of course, after Crystal Palace went a man down, well, Mohamed Salah scoring and later assisting Harvey Elliott in the first minute of added time for Liverpool to come from behind and win 2-1. Liverpool are getting about their business quite silently. As we speak now, they are topping the pile as it is. Played, of course, a game more than most of the other opponents, the other teams, 16. They've got 37 points. Arsenal, who play Aston Villa, have got 36. Aston Villa themselves have got 32. I expect Arsenal to drop points there. Manchester City have got 30, 4th place. Spurs have got 27, 5th place. Manchester United has got 27 in sixth place. So if we win this one, it should be in our hands. For me, I think we will be getting closer to the cherry. Of course, the top 4 cherry is where I want to be, because if we win and Man City fail to win, we will be on the same number of points. That's why I've been telling people that Manchester United, with how we are improving early into the season, it's good that we had all our struggles early into the season. I feel like we are actually still in the title conversation. And that's exactly why when I see Erik ten Hag resting some of his important players, thinking about the Champions League, I'm thinking, where are our priorities? We've got to set our priorities right. Is our priority to make it out of the group stages of the Champions League, or is it to actually compete in the Premier League and try to finish among the top 4? Because then that will properly guide the selections and justifications of all the selections that the boss makes. So for me, that's what I want to focus on. But yeah, as I do let you to enjoy the game in a hot bit, it's just about 9 minutes away. I've got 9 minutes, of course, I do want to leave when the teams do match on the stadium. But just to remind you of our starting 11, Andre Onana in between the sticks, another start for him. Ever since he joined, of course, he's been bossing the role, the number 1 role. Of course, there are certain mistakes you can't be, caught guilty for. But we can obviously pardon him for now, because at least in the Premier League, he hasn't been, howler field. He has tried. The Champions League is where perhaps the jitters are way too many, yet he reached the final of the Champions League. Interesting how football can turn out to be. But Andre Onana starting in goal, then Sergio Reguilon, after coming on as a substitute, he did bring on some energy, and for me it's no surprise that he's starting on the left. Luke Shaw balancing the left-hand side of the central defense the way his boss wants it, as of course he partners with Harry Maguire, the player of the month. Then on the right, Diogo Dalot, who has been inch perfect nearly in most of his crosses. A few people would debate that, saying that it's the people at the end of these crosses that make them look good. We'll talk about that in a bit. Sofian Amrabat, after having his best game in a United jersey against Chelsea, has warranted a start. I see Semukele Muzelemu. Where are you from, brother? You're saying show the match. Well, we'll get there. We will get there. So, Semukele, I see you, brother. Of course, the match is about 7 minutes away. And as we do speak now, the teams are just about to of course come back one more time. Of course, I can see the warm-ups are on, and Marcus Rashford, who was believed to have suffered an illness before after training yesterday, is fit enough to come back and be on the bench. He's as good as the bench. Clearly, no Rashford, no problems for Manchester United. I think now the players are motivated, seeing that Erik ten Hag is making the right decisions and benching players who are not doing enough, and giving opportunities to those players who are looking good. Most of the times, guys, our team has been struggling in games because Erik ten Hag has been finding it difficult to make the right decisions, to call the bullets, to call the shots. He has not been taking charge. He is taking charge now, and clearly you see results are coming. That's what you want to see. And for me, each game that passes, I feel like it makes us look like we are not as bad as we thought, and I feel less pressure going into the Jan transfer window, where I thought we might be disorganized, by the way, because most of the signings we had made looked like they were not working. But it seems really the injuries had taken away so much. We needed time to re-strategize and, of course, reorganize. I feel like right now there are a few little things to clean. There are a few little things for us to improve. But also, we've got to be consistent with some of our good performances. I don't expect us to perform the way we did against Chelsea, come against Bournemouth at home, and we struggle badly. And we've been doing this before. You have one good game and a forgettable one in the next. For me, against Bournemouth, this is the game where we should come out there and leave them for dead, obliterate them, go and make a statement that we are Manchester United and we are back. And what Manchester United does is, when you land on a team like Bournemouth, you beat them bad, destroy them, shatter them, do whatever you want to them. For me, that's exactly what I expect to see in this game. And that's why when I see players like Martial coming and starting ahead of Rasmus HOJLUND, perhaps because HOJLUND scores goals in the Champions League and he struggles in the Premier League, whereas Martial has scored more than him in the Premier League, I don't get it quite. But we know for a fact that Martial has proven to be one of our laziest players. What business do you have playing lazy players on the pitch? So For me, those are the issues I've got. But Eric Ten Hag looks like he's getting everything together. The belief that he's having in Scott McTominay as well seems to be paying off. He said the first time he saw him, Scott McTominay looked like a good finisher. He looked like he knows he's a threat. He has got a good goal scoring instinct. It's showing us. My only issue for me for now for United is how we look when we don't have the ball. When teams are coming at us, we are too open. We open ourselves up so easily. And for me, that's the biggest problem I've got with our squad. But if Eric Ten Hag can find the balance with one holding midfielder, a single pivot, that can give him the balance, then we are good. But clearly, we've struggled. The two big spaces we leave in the middle are so easy for teams to exploit. I don't want to see that. If we see the same problem again, I will be back here and calling out Eric Ten Hag on the same thing, because you cannot keep seeing the same problem but take your time to solve it. The way Eric Ten Hag took his time to solve the Rashford problem, and like it turned out, like I said, we might have been blaming him, but it was probably beyond him, because it seemed like it was an order from above that Anthony Martial should be starting games. Marcus Rashford rather should be starting games. But I don't expect Eric Ten Hag to take as much time to solve the midfield problem like he did to solve the Marcus Rashford problem, because I don't think anyone is forcing him not to play two holding midfielders. I think the confusion is because Scott McTominay is scoring goals, which is a good thing, but what is his goals at the expense of us conceding? We've scored so many goals. I think scoring goals has not proven to be one of our biggest problems this season, to be fair. I think we've scored enough decent goals. I think the problem has been us keeping our gates locked. We open ourselves up way too easily, and Eric Ten Hag is taking his time to solve that. Probably he has got the luxury of time. He's got a long contract still going on, and of course the full backing of the Glazers and the incoming Sir Jim Ratcliffe, at least according to what we hear. So maybe that is what is giving him the confidence. But yeah, it's a good day, by the way. My dad is around here. He just refused to come and talk to you. He's an Arsenal supporter, and I was trying to drag him to come and talk to you. It's the first time he's visiting me in a long time, but he refuses to come and talk to you guys. I don't know, but I will enjoy the game with him. I hope it's good luck. Whenever I've watched a game with him, we've struggled. The team I support has struggled. So the lineups, of course, were out already. The teams are out on the pitch. And of course, it's about time for that action. Manchester United are taking on Bournemouth. It should be a one-sided affair on paper. But if facts are anything to go by, United has struggled against even the smallest and weakest of opponents. Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony Martial, Sofiane Amrabat, Anthony Dos Santos, goal scorer Scott McTominay, Sergio Reguilon, Diogo Dalot, Andre Onana, the captain, Bruno Fernandes, and of course, the men at the center. And here we go. The lineups are being displayed. Eric Ten Hag has assembled what looks like a 4-2-3-1 on paper with Andre Onana, like I said, starting in goal. We are clad in our signature red with Team Viewer, of course, smartly on the front of our players' shirts. Scott McTominay together with Sofiane Amrabat, the two holding midfielders. Bruno Fernandes, of course, bossing that number 10, his favored position, sandwiched by Alejandro Garnacho, the star boy, and Anthony Dos Santos, the wannabe star boy, who is proving to be a star lately. And of course, up top is Rasmus Højlund's deputy, who is now the starter. That is Anthony Martial. Well, it's an interesting game. It's expected to be a tough one at that. Cook and Christie, 4-2-3-1 as well for Bournemouth. Justin Kluivert playing behind Solanke. Let's see what exactly United is about to offer. Your quick prediction of this game as we do get into the action. Wouldn't matter or wouldn't hurt. A fully packed Old Trafford. Every stand you can think about, the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. All the stands are packed to the rafters. Expectations, and of course the boss Eric Ten Hag strapping away as he goes to take his seat. It's a cold season. The winter is on. It will get colder to one of these two managers who are exchanging pleasantries. The Bournemouth players have looked to the man above, and they are praying that there are some errors made by Manchester United, but United are oozing confidence. It's action time, ladies and gentlemen. It's short time. Man United. I wonder where you're watching this from. Well, it's the first minute of the game, and we are underway. A big game. It will be the visitors to have the first kick. Anthony down on his knees, saying, the man above, come play this game with me, because, well, I've been looking improved, but I'm not yet there. I'm not quite as convincing as 85 million pounds should be. That's exactly. And there we go. We are on. The action is on. The goal kick for Manchester United. Andre Onana. Focused, looking focused and sharp as the word. Erik ten Hag speaking to himself on the bench. The pressure game expectedly. It's at Old Trafford, I mean. It's against Bournemouth. Any mistake, we could be beaten. Andre Onana again playing with Sofian Amrabat. Amrabat loves playing those cross passes, those diagonal passes from the center, which are not good at all. They are a bit risky. What exactly is Luke Shaw doing with Andre Onana? That could be a penalty. Andre Onana is playing games with Luke Shaw in the box. Well, there seemed to have been a foul on Luke Shaw, but regardless, I think that was a risky approach there from Luke Shaw. He was playing a loose ball to Andre Onana in goal. Bournemouth is pressing. That's a risky attempt to take. I feel like sometimes Andre Onana overdoes this whole build from the back thing, and whereas, yes, this is how the manager wants him to play, I feel like at times he has shown too much trust in his holding midfielders, because at times he passes to them in tight positions, and I saw Kobe Maino looking so confident with such balls, but there's a bit of risk in it. Alejandro Garnacho, the star boy. Anthony Martial, poor pass there from Martial. Again, lazy Martial, there he goes. You're not marked, you've got all the space. How on earth are you losing such a pass? Good ball control there from Sergio Reguilon. Of course, Diogo Dalot. First instinct is to dash forward or try and overlap. Well, Man United is pressing early. We look like we are pressing so early, and you love to see it, because we are seeing Luke Shaw staying behind alone. Bruno Fernandes dropping deep a bit. That's what he loves to do. Good passing there from Bruno. Finds Alejandro Garnacho. Beautiful. Was that Garnacho, Sergio Reguilon? Oh, that should be a goal. Come on. Come on, guys. Show some desire. That should be a goal. Sergio Reguilon. That should be a goal. Yes, it fell on his weaker right foot, but clearly, to be honest, could have done better with that. Good cross he attempted to make. Well cleared. Diogo Dalot tries to hit it on a volley at once. Same thing. Sergio Reguilon, a volley with your weaker foot is always going to be difficult. And I thought he had a bit of space to control that ball and pick his spot where to take it. Amrabat playing too deep. Poor pass there again from Amrabat. And this is exactly what I was worried about. When you lose a pass in the middle, a direct team will come so straight at you, and they'll just disorganize you. They will just disorganize you. 3 minutes played so far. No tempo to the game so far. There is no tempo to the game so far. It's still dull, looking dull and slow. United not off the blocks like we usually want to do. Again, Luke Shaw doing the same thing with Onana. But Bournemouth is pressing them, so the approach is to attract them and then break them so fast on the transition. That is how Erik Ten Hag wants to play. But if a team is pressing you so high, your players are not so comfortable on the ball. They are prone to making mistakes. Very good football there from. But there's some lazy passing going on. This is exactly what I've been talking about. We have been playing so many loose balls in our box, in our space. This is exactly what I was saying from the start of the game. Goal by Solanke, giveaway. That was an easy giveaway. This is exactly what I've been saying from the start of the game. We've been just enjoying ourselves from close to our goal so easily. Andrew Onana and Luke Shaw playing easy balls. Look at that pass. Who is this? That's Bruno. That's Bruno Fernandes with a very weak, effortless pass. Chip over. In your box. Solanke, just, oh goodness. Very easy goal. But Onana should have done better than that. Well, so many mistakes. But before I even get to Onana, for me, it's the lack of effort, the laissez-faire way we are playing inside our half. We are in our third, but we are just passing loose balls around. These guys have been pressing us from the start of the game, and this is exactly what I've been saying. So now we are trailing, and usually when you trail like this, the pressure mounts on. It's always going to be difficult to fight back. It's always going to be a struggle. This is exactly what I've been talking about. I feel like whereas we want to play a certain way, I think we've got to apply some logic to it. I feel like we invited this on ourselves. We spent way too much time playing in our half and playing loose balls without effort, without desire. We started a bit lazy, if you ask me. Look, sure. It looks like when we get the ball, we then resort to a back three with Sofiane Amrabat dropping in the center of the defense. And then Luke Shaw stays there, goes wide a bit. Diogo Dalot then goes up top a lot. Well, it then, and this is exactly what I was saying, that when we play 4-2-3-1, it then changes into a 3-5-2 when we are attacking, with the two fullbacks becoming wingbacks, which is good. But you see, that only makes sense if the middle is solid, if the core is solid. I still think Amrabat, good pass there. Find who? A nice cutback. That was a good effort. Well, Sergio Reguilon looking busy. That was a decent effort from Sergio Reguilon. Good 1-2 there from between Martial and Co. Quick start there from Sergio Reguilon. Good cross. Oh, God. This is going to be a long game, isn't it? This is good long cross there from Sergio Reguilon. Headed by Harry Maguire. Good effort there. The corner. Brilliant effort from Harry Maguire. You can imagine how on earth it's Harry Maguire getting to the end of that ball. Oh, that was a decent header from Maguire. Give it to him. What's a brilliant save. Bruno. Speculative. Decent but speculative. To be honest, I haven't seen so much of Man United. I feel like we have not yet taken control of the game. Really. We are doing quite more. I think we are on the ball a lot more than Bournemouth, but we are not effective. Why is Anthony Martial falling? He's alone. Nice Nice 1-2s we are playing from the left wing, but the final. Good pass from Harry Maguire to find Reguilon. Garnacho. Good. Okay. Good overlapping there. Nice cross there from Luke Shaw. It was a bit weak, catching practice for the goalkeeper. That was a decent move. That looked like a bit of build up by Man United. That looks decent. I have faith in what's about to come. I have hope. Well, back to restart. Martial goes again, complaining as usual. Instead of chasing the ball, he's complaining. We are trailing. These players. I feel like Bruno is dropping a bit too deep. And again, that's because Scott McTominay is probably not tracking back as much. And Ronaldo's ball control also looks wanting a bit. Amrabat trying to distribute the ball. Of course, Diogo Dalot on the right now trying to go. Scott McTominay, Anthony Martial, that should be an offside. Poor ball control from Martial. Also a poor pass from Scott. Oh. Wow. 11 minutes played so far, but not much to write home about, especially if you're a Man United supporter. Eric Ten Hag is bellowing instructions from the bench. Doesn't get it. What's happening? You can't get it. Look sure. Yeah. Onana has seen more of the ball than most of our outfield players. Garnacho. Dalot. Hey, that was effortless. Is it Dalot or Bruno? McTominay, actually. That looked effortless. Corner kick, our first corner kick of the game. Captain Bruno taking Harry Maguire. Speaking up, looking out for Harry Maguire. Good head of the ball. Is beautiful football from Diogo Dalot. Decent effort there. Again, but Scott has such a good goal scoring instinct. You look at that turn and how he aimed for the target. Oh, beautiful ball control there from Anthony. It was fouled. The ref played the advantage. Garnacho. Bournemouth are looking organized. They are looking solid in the back. difficult to penetrate, even if we are trying so much to get there. Anthony, beautiful pass there. Trying direct Anthony again. Oh, good chip. Nice. Oh, again, no follow up. No one lurking around. Type of basic mistakes we are making. Poor positioning, I feel at times. Manchester United. Manchester United. Oh, na. Sofian Amrabat. Amrabat looks like he's playing a free role. Him and Bruno. Bruno is tracking back a lot better than probably both of our holding midfielders. Well, of course, Amrabat is there. It's really, but Bruno is tracking back a lot better than Scott McTominay. I feel like we are still disorganized in the middle. Even if we are doing a lot of things, again, there you go. So many spaces there to expose Onana, but he dealt well with that effort. Good defending there. From Bruno again. Oh, goodness. Bruno. Fighting for every ball. Fighting for every ball. This boy. And a goal is such a big setback, more so if it's at home against a team like Bournemouth. Still 1-0 to Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Solanke with a gifted goal, if you ask me. Nana looking to distribute. Finds Luke Shaw. We are now playing a back three now. Shaw, Maguire, and Dalot. The long ball, good ball control there from, is this Solanke? We look better organized without the ball. At least the positioning of our players is not as disorganized, but we are not marking man to man. Marking zonal defending. Again, we continue playing our half. It's dangerous football. We are living on the ledge and we're putting ourselves in that position. Life on the ledge, and we are calling it on ourselves. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see us living life on the ledge. Amrabat. I think Amrabat and Bruno have touched. Amrabat, Bruno, and Onana touched the ball most all our players. Have the look. And Anthony, go straight. Hey, what are you- No, coach. By the way, Bruno has made the most, created the most chances of any player in the. Let's hope he creates more because we need them. There you go, Bruno. Amrabat, Dalot, Bruno again, Dalot, Bruno. Mines look short. Sergio Julian, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Anthony Dos Santos. What's that? Okay, deflected pass is lucky. That was a poor pass though. Anthony again, good through ball to find. Oh, nice from Bruno. Poor ball control from Martial again. Anthony Martial, come on, come on. You're an elite player. Martial, Martial. Martial has no desire at all. There is the goal. Some very sloppish defending and play from us. Well, I'm still not worried, but if it stays like this for long, probably that will change. So I still think we have every chance to overturn this game. Okay. No problem. What is Anthony doing? Should be going ahead. Okay. Well, Martial is trying to do one good thing. I think trying to chase at least until it drops. $22 minutes played so far. Again. Another error, and there we go again. Second goal for Bournemouth, but it's offside. That's the luck. But do you exactly see, guys, why I keep saying we need two holding midfielders, not two holding pretenders? Look at how I think that's Kluivert dribbled the ball through the middle. Where were our holding midfielders? What was Anthony doing sliding from 4 meters away? We just make it too easy. We just make it too easy. We are lucky that didn't count, but we just make it too easy. Eric Ten Hag has got to move away from his one holding midfielder. We need a double pivot. We need two holding midfielders. This doesn't look good at all, fam. This doesn't look good at all. Pass from Diogo Dalot. Garnacho finds Sergio Reguilon. Chasing ball. Chip try to chip in. And now, catching practice. Wow, I don't, to be honest, I don't see where our goal is going to come from. I don't feel it. It's not in the first half. Okay, that's now a good dashing move there from Sergio Reguilon. Garnacho. Again, same thing. We are blocked in the final third. Oh, okay, that was some nearly decent passing. One 0 for Bournemouth at Old Trafford. We are not effective. We are putting the pressure, we are mounting the pressure, but we've got nothing to show for it. We've got absolutely nothing to show for it. The corner for Bournemouth. That was close. That was close to number 2. That was too close to number 2. Another corner. This looks like it will be a long game for Manchester United. Wow. We are still doing the same mistakes that cost us a goal. We don't learn. Just close to the half-hour mark. We are still yet to find the back of the net. This game is too boring. It's making me yawn. We need a goal. Oh, beautiful pass from Diogo Dalot. That's a beautiful pass from Dalot. Bruno was almost speeding away. That was a beautiful ball. Good ball. Yellow card. Again, nice passing there. I think our left wing has been a little more active than the right. I don't think Anton has had so much to do. If anything, the few happenings from the right have probably come through Diogo Dalot more than they have come from Anthony Dos Santos rather. Oh, beautiful double tackling by Maguire there. Foul. No way. Wasn't that a foul on Anthony? That looked like a foul. Huh. Interesting decision there from the referee. I think that was a foul on Anthony. Why didn't he give it? Good switch of play there from Amrabat, but very poor. It's a poor ball for Garnacho. He's complaining about it. Yeah, you're playing with players who are not up there yet. Poor passes. Certain things, to be honest, our players do. I feel like are these professional players? Certain mistakes are too pedestrian to be made by a professional player playing for Manchester United. And if you make such a mistake once, it's understandable. But if you keep making the same mistakes, that's where the problem comes for me. Good ball from Maguire. Switch play. Garnacho. Okay. It's everyone else trying to win the headers that are crossed in. Anthony Martial is just being lazy. Good effort there. You've got acres of space. You've got acres of space ahead of you. What business do you have passing the ball diagonally like that? Goodness. Goodness. This is going to be such a long game for Manchester United. I don't think I'll finish the entire 90 minutes of this game, to be honest. I might end up swearing here on live. So many mistakes we are making. We played decently well compared to how we've been playing in the past couple of games. We are decent at times, but certain individuals are not showing up. Anthony Martial is not showing up. Anthony Dos Santos is not a hard guy. He's such a baby. It's a man's game, Anthony. You make a good move, beat off people, and then you dive when you can still go. So you've not completed your move. Martial. First shot on goal by Martial with his weak left foot. I don't think any of you expected much from that. But the fact that he has got a shot that has gone to goal, maybe. There was absolutely no power to that shot. But he should have been catching practice for Neto. Rasmus Højlund has been sent out to warm up. Rasmus Højlund is warming up. Erik ten Hag sees it. I do hope Kobe Maino too is warming up because he needs to open us up a bit. But obviously, with the crosses we are seeing coming through, surely Rasmus Højlund should have got to the end of at least one of them. Martial, no way. I want to see if Erik ten Hag has got the character to make a quick substitution like this. There at the end of the first half, he's substituting off someone, striker. That's so not Erik ten Hag. But surely Anthony Martial has got to be making way. Amrabat, busy body today. Anthony Dos Santos passes back to Luke Shaw. Scott finds Garnacho. Will he pull up something exciting? Cuts back to no one. No midfielders to follow. Lack of concentration. Lack of focus and concentration. Harry Maguire is knocking bodies. He's like a destroyer, just knocking bodies. Anyone standing in his way will get knocked. That's the Maguire. In front of a packed Old Trafford, Manchester United is struggling to even make a decent attempt at goal against the Bournemouth. Doesn't look good at all for Manchester United, if you ask me. Well, unless Rasmus Højlund comes on, I sense that this game might end in a draw. if things don't change. If HOJLUND doesn't come on, Kobe Maino does. Wow, through pass there. Again, almost. Solanke hits the post. We are almost again. Almost conceding. Almost conceding again. So painful to see. Our defenders, again, our holding midfielders, poor positioning. Look at Amrabat, he's all over the place. It's too much work for the holding midfielders to play in this Erik ten Hag formation. Someone is down, it looks nasty. Who is this? Nacho? Hope he's just exaggerating a situation. Oh, I think he mistakenly touched him in the eyes. But that was a decent effort from Solanke. That could have easily gone in. Easily, that could have gone in. Nacho is still down. The Man United supporters look worried. I don't think it's just because of how it's standing now, but because of the player who is down. He's obviously our star boy, and we can't afford to lose him. Not even for a minute. Poor ball there. Lose easy ball from Bruno Fernandes. What a giveaway that was. It's a Christmas bonanza. Marcus Rashford too is warming up. Probably to come and take the place of Alejandro Garnacho, who looks to be injured in the eye. You can use that information the way you want if you're the manager, at least. For Erik ten Hag, that's the plan. If Garnacho is seriously injured, it's Rashford who is coming on. Play comes to a halt for a minute or so. Erik ten Hag is cooking. But what exactly is he cooking? Nacho is warming off. He play on. Seems to be in pain in his eye. One nil for Bournemouth. United has survived. 2 other goals. Anthony. Good ball to find the captain Bruno. But it was quickly marked and it's cleared. Semenyo. A few minutes to half time. 2 minutes. Maybe a few that will be added on. Doesn't look good for United at all. Anthony Martial certainly doesn't look good at all on the pitch. I would be shocked if he returned in the second half. Erik ten Hag's game plan hasn't worked so far. Well, such games will put you under pressure. I don't know why we struggle a lot against smaller opponents. Against the bigger ones, we try to put on a fight early. But these small opponents like Bournemouth do already threaten. It's 4 minutes of added time. Man United trailing. I don't think we clearly have an advantage, or we clearly show that we are closest to scoring the next goal in this game. Still looking like a difficult game. Even when we put on some decent patterns, we've had moments where we looked decent with our patterns. We still don't look as threatening. Bournemouth just know how to block there. Semenyi. Lazy football there. Good defending from Harry Maguire. So calmly. Beautiful from the play of the man. Goodness. Error after error after error. Nice tackle from Amrabat. Bruno looking for Martial. Pass to who? Miscalculated pass. Square pass to poor communication between Martial and should have been Scott McTominay. But that was such a beautiful tackle from Harry Maguire. Fans are applauding as well, actually. Beautiful tackle from Maguire. Firmly took back the ball. Maguire has been, for me, one of our better players, if not our best players so far. Him and Bruno, besides the mistake Bruno made in leading up to the goal, I think he has tried to make up for it. Again, lazy Martial. Being lazy Martial. Changes needed at halftime. I would expect a triple change, honestly. I still think we need to support Amrabat. He's doing way too much. Bruno is also running way too much. Scott McTominay off. Kobe Maino on. Rasmus HOJLUND on for Anthony Martial. So far, those are the substitutions, the clear substitutions for me, I would see. I'm seeing Marcus Rashford warming up. I'm not sure what match will bring us. Besides his running and pace, I don't see what match they will bring us. For me, I think we need to be more calm in the middle. Amrabat is trying way too much. Amrabat is doing so much by himself. I feel like he's covering a lot of ground. He's about to get tired. I think we need the support of Maino. And Maino with his through balls will reorganize us and will look better organized going forward. I also want to see Kobe Maino on the pitch with Rasmus HOJLUND. Let's wait and see what substitutions Erik ten Hag will make. But for me, clearly, first one, Scott McTominay off, bring on Kobe Maino, Anthony Martial off for Rasmus HOJLUND. These are the two substitutions I expect Erik ten Hag to make first in the second half. Those are the two first substitutions I expect Erik ten Hag to make. It's half time, ladies and gentlemen. What's your take so far? I think for me, yes, we've had moments of patterns, good football played, but it all counts for nothing. If you can't score against Bournemouth, it all counts for nothing for me. For me, clearly we could have done better. We invited that goal on ourselves. I thought Anthony Onana certain times plays balls to just save himself, but he passes balls in the most difficult positions. So is Bruno. The loose ball he was trying, I think, to give to Scott McTominay. I thought it lacked desire and effort in it, and we were punished for it because we were playing way too close to our goal. I don't like it. And you see, this is not Manchester United. We Man United supporters are not used to that kind of football. We are not used to playing way too close to our goal. We are not. We don't like supporting football like that. That's under pressure. It's not who we are. It's not who we are. I think we can improve that, to be honest. But the first improvement we need is to first help Sofian Amrabat because he's suffering way too much. He's covering a lot of ground. Bruno as well is covering a lot of ground because Scott McTominay is again, as expected, not tracking back enough. I think McTominay should be off together with Anthony Martial. Those are the two first substitutions that should be made. Kobe Maino on, McTominay off, Anthony Martial off, and Rasmus HOJLUND on. Those are the two first substitutions for me I expect to see from Erik ten Hag. But we wait to see what exactly the boss sees, how he sees the game. He could bring on Rafael Varane. He's full of surprises. And HOJLUND has turned up saying he's the Tinkerman again. I've told you, Ten Hag is the Tinkerman. I hope it works. I do think he has got the armory. It's not so ugly for us, to be honest. I don't think we've played our worst football. I think actually we've had good moments in the game. But there is a lot of so much effort. Guys are working way too hard for no reason. I think Sofian Amrabat is working way too hard. Yet if we had a Kobe Maino on, he would be calmer in the middle and maybe then he would even create more going forward. I feel that Anthony Martial again proves to me why he should be leaving in Jan. He's too lazy. It's too lazy. You can't rely on Anthony Martial. You can't rely on him. Guys are crossing. Sergio Reguilon has been trying to put in crosses. Luke Shaw has been trying to put in some decent crosses in there. But Martial is nowhere to be seen. You see him coming in the middle to try and hold and get involved in play, which is okay. But you see, how are you going to score the goals? The shots he has are weak. The shots he's trying to take from outside the box are weak. So I feel for me that Anthony Martial has got to improve a lot. He has got to improve a lot if he's going to stay as a backup for Rasmus HOJLUND. But for this particular game, there's no improvement he will make for me that will convince me that he deserves to return for the second half. Not one improvement for me. What's for Alan? Yes, the Tinkerman is doing him. He's doing his thing. Honestly, I don't think the selection was that bad. Well, besides Kobe Maino not starting, well, with HOJLUND, because he has not been scoring goals in the Premier League, you would understand, because Anthony Martial started against Everton and it was such a good game. He scored in that game. He did not play against so very good football, but he scored in the game. So you would understand why Erik ten Hag will opt for Martial in the Premier League, given that HOJLUND has not scored there. But you see, even when HOJLUND does not score, there is no moment where you feel that he has made a wrong run or a bad touch. He will not score because he doesn't get the balls. But with all those crosses that have been swung in by Sergio Reguilon, Luke Shaw, I'm thinking at the very worst, Rasmus HOJLUND could have had at least a shot at goal, or one or two or three. So for me, I'll still go for HOJLUND on ahead of Anthony Martial. But also, I think we need to ease the pressure on Sofian Amrabat. He's going down in the left, in the central defense. He's in the middle all over. He's on the right. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. There's too much ground in the middle for Manchester United. Scott McTominay again continues to disappear. What's Alan is still talking about Varane. Why start look in the back when you have Varane? It's because Erik ten Hag has got his personal issues with Rafael Varane, and he feels he shouldn't be starting games. That's why. And again, goes back to his man management. You never know what exactly Varane did. Probably he's one of those going behind the back of Erik ten Hag and talking things about him. We'll get to know the facts maybe. But clearly, Erik ten Hag is done with Rafael Varane, and the plan is for him to be out probably in Jan. Because, I mean, even when Victor Lindelof is not there, he's not starting. Sandro Martinez is not there. Martinez is not there, and he's not starting. He's in the squad, but on the bench. So clearly, he's not in the plans of the manager. There's talk of Bayern Munich wanting him. So for me, the issue is not even Luke Shaw. The issue is not even that for me. Well, there are certain errors that Luke Shaw has made. They have been sloppy, right? Like I said from the start of the game, we are inviting trouble. We are inviting trouble for ourselves too much. We are playing a lot close to our box. We are just playing poor passes, sloppy football. You know, weak, poor passes from Amrabat, from everyone. There was a lot of sloppy play from United, and for me, we deserve to be punished. I saw it coming. If you were watching from the start of the game, I was saying it. What are we doing? Onana playing way too much in his box, in his area. You don't keep doing that in the Premier League. You will be punished for it. You don't invite your opponent way too deep in your zone. They will punish you for that in the Premier League. That's what they do. Well, as it is now, Brighton is trading by a 1-0 against Burnley. And Man United 1-0 Bournemouth. Sheffield United is 1-0 up against Brentford, whereas Wolves and Nottingham Forest are all are level at 1-1. But for our game, what's for Alan? Yes, the Tinkerman continues to do his thing. But in this one, I will not really castigate him a lot for tinkering with the team. But I want to see what changes he makes. For me, that's where I would judge him more. What changes is he going to make now that it's halftime? And we are trailing the way we are, with people putting on performances below par. What changes is Erik ten Hag going to make? That's the multi-million-dollar question for me. It's what I'm excited to see, what I'm eager to see. Well, like I said, when the game is boring, I won't punish myself to come here and watch while I talk when there's not so much action to talk about. It kills the whole watch-along vibe. You want to watch along on a good game. Well, this game for me has been way below my expectation. I thought we could have shown that we wanted it more. We don't seem to want it the way we should. I also feel like Erik ten Hag is overthinking about the Champions League, which I think we should have just surrendered a long time ago. And that's guiding some of his decisions in terms of players he's selecting, which decisions for me I would have issues with. So let's wait and see what substitutions we make at halftime as we look at the goal rush now. All the goals that have been scored so far in the other games. Beautiful goal here from Burnley. Who is this guy? Beautiful football. Beautiful goal there from Burnley. Bullet. Bruno and his chip to... Wow. Whenever I look at this goal, I'm pained because even Ten Hag looks at it and is saying, really? Bruno, what was that chip about? You can't be overconfident in the Premier League in your third, in your box, nearly. So annoying, guys. It's so annoying. So annoying.